Gervonta Tank Davis. Let Shakur Stevenson. Devin Haney know y'all ain't built like that, bro. So, my bro BFTV did a video about Turki Al-Sheikh, Al Haymon, and Gervonta Tank Davis. Go check that video out. It's fire. Go subscribe to my bro channel and go show him some love. Now, when he did that video, obviously it caught fire, and then Blue Blood followed suit and used the same talking points to do his live stream, do his video. So salute to BF for giving us all a great idea to talk about, a great topic to talk about. I'm not other content creators. If I get an idea, I see a video that prompts me to make another video or make some content, I'm gonna shout it out and let it be known that this is where this is coming from. So obviously, you know, if it's Tank and it's me and BF involved, we vehemently probably gonna disagree, right? But it's still always love, it's still always respect. So go subscribe to his channel and go check out his content. Fire, you know what I'm saying? Straight fire. And when he does something like that and somebody like Blue Blood copies it and goes and does the same thing, that's how you know you're making noise in the game. Now, with that being said, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video. We live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 7:30. Also live Sunday mornings with the Singing OG KQKC Boxing Network at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Join the channel as a member. Drop super chats when you come by the live streams and the videos that we do. And hit me up if you want to debate. Knockoutboxing86 at yahoo.com is the email address. Let me say that I think that BF and Blue Blood and the fans that are using what BF said as their talking points to speak on this topic, I think y'all totally missing the mark, bro. I think y'all are dead ass fucking wrong, bro. And let me tell y'all why. Al Haymon sends fighters to other promotional companies all the time. He don't send his A-side fighters. He don't send his revenue generating fighters. I feel like we're having the same conversations over and over and over again, except for the characters have just changed. Like, people who are on one side of the argument when it's a certain situation, right? And then they're on the other side of the argument when it's another situation. I'll prove it to you. So if we look at the history of Premier Boxing Champions going back to like 2018, 2017, you can look at times where they have sent their fighters to other promotional companies when it has made sense for them. In the case of Tank Davis, it makes no sense for the PBC to work with anyone to make a fight for Tank Davis because Tank Davis is the cash cow. He's the revenue generator. Why do they need Turki involved when Tank Davis is one of their most lucrative fighters that they can make money off of? He's one of their most lucrative fighters that when they go into negotiations, they have all the leverage. So why would I need Turki to make a fight between Tank and Shakur Stevenson, Tank and Devin Haney, Tank and Lomachenko, Tank and Keyshawn Davis, when we can reach out to those fighters directly? We're their highest payday regardless because we got Tank. We're their biggest fight regardless because we got Tank. We can be the lead promoter. We can be the guys that are putting on the fight. And then they have to go through it and negotiate it our way, or they can continue to fight lesser fights while Tank Davis continues to be everybody's biggest fight. It doesn't make sense, and they've never done that before. I can give you guys an example of Terrence Crawford when Terrence Crawford fans were yelling, yo, they sent Felix Diaz over there. Yo, they sent Brian Castano over there to fight Patrick Teixeira. And the talking point is Earl Spence ain't Patrick Teixeira. ain't Brian Castano. Earl Spence is not Felix Diaz. So, yes, Premier Boxing Champions will send Felix Diaz to go fight Terrence Crawford because Felix Diaz ain't got no name in comparison to Terrence Crawford. But Earl Spence is a bigger name than him. So we're not sending you Earl Spence. You got to come through us because Earl is the bigger star in that scenario. So, basically, they're letting you know if we got the bigger star, if we can make money off of it, if we got the bigger name, bro, we're not sending our fighters to y'all. That's why you can go through history. Felix Diaz, Terrence Crawford, who's the bigger name? Terrence Crawford. We'll send your ass over there. Motherfucking Brian Castano, Patrick Teixeira. Teixeira is the champion. Castano is the mandatory challenger. Castano ain't got no name. Teixeira ain't got no name. You go over there, Castano, you get your title shot. Go over there to top rank. Cool Boy Steph, Monster Inouye. Monster Inouye, the superstar. Cool Boy Steph, you are the champion. You are the unified champion, but he the superstar. You can make more money, and we can get a bigger percentage with no risk. Send your ass to Japan. You want to fight? Good luck. Get on that plane. Take your ass to Japan. Shakur Stevenson, Edwin De Los Santos. Edwin, pretty good fighter. Got a pretty good name. Shakur's the biggest star. He's the one that's the star. Edwin, take your ass over there to Top Rank. Now, we look at what they got going on with Turki Al-Sheikh. Rolly Ramiro, Ryan Garcia. Ryan is the bigger name right now. Rolly, your fucking stock is shot. We send your ass over there to fight Ryan Garcia. Carlos Adames, you a champion. You ain't really got no name like that. We not finna main event you. You not no big name like that. Turki putting on this card over here. He willing to pay this. Take your ass over there. Fight Hamza Siraj, because we ain't making no money off your ass anyway. You need to be active. Pitbull Cruz, Jose Rayo Valenzuela, undercard fighters. Not headlining no events. Not bringing no money into PBC. David Morrell at the time, undercard fighter. Not headlining no main events. Not bringing no money into the PBC. And when he did headline at the Armory, I believe that was the PBC's last event on Showtime, that fight ain't generate no goddamn revenue. Take your ass over there, get on that card, and you fight motherfucking Hot Rod. That's what you can do. You fight Hot Rod with Rokovich. But when they got guys like Earl Spence Jr., guys like Caleb Plant, guys like David Benavidez, guys like Gervonta Tank Davis, bro, they will work with promoters. Yes, they're working with Turki, yes. But they're not going to put Gervonta Tank Davis on a Turki card. Because any fighter that Tank Davis could fight, Tank Davis is their biggest pay. Any fighter that Tank Davis could fight, Tank Davis is the A-side. Any fighter that Turki dealing with, Golden Boy dealing with, Top Rank dealing with, any fighter that Tank could fight, he's the bigger name, he's the bigger draw, he has all of the leverage, he's their biggest fight, he's their only path to pay-per-view. So why would they give all that away? Give all that leverage, all that business away to Turki? That makes no sense, bro. That's why somebody like Tank Davis and now David Benavidez would not be fighting on a Turki Al-Sheikh undercard. Because those two guys are the name. They're the biggest fight for everybody outside of Canelo Alvarez. If you're not getting the Canelo shot at 175 pounds, David Benavidez is your biggest fight. If you're not getting the Canelo shot at 168 pounds, David Benavidez is your biggest fight. So why would they be like, yeah, let's fight Callum Smith over there on a Turki card? No, Callum, if I'm going to fight you, bring your ass over here. What we need to be on Turki card for? This is America. Bring your ass to America. This is where boxing counts. And you know it's where boxing counts because Tank Davis's numbers in America generated more revenue than the Riyadh season, card of the century, flop of the century, last crescendo, last innuendo. He generated more revenue in America than that card generated in all across the whole fucking world combined, bro. America is king. So when you got a name in America, you got the leverage. That's why Tank Davis not choosing to fight over there with Turki and Al Haymon not sending Tank to Turki is not a duck because they run shit. The fighters are ducking them, bro. They reached out to Loma. He ducked them. They reached out to Shakur. He ducked them. Keyshawn Davis has been on camera saying that Tank Davis' team has reached out to him trying to make a fight. If that fight don't happen and he reached out to Keyshawn, they're ducking him, bro. If the Lamont Roach fight don't happen, he's ducking Tank. If Tank is trying to make that fight, by all intents and purposes, that's all we know is that they want the rematch and they've been negotiating a rematch. Shit still run through him. Turki be damned. You might get a bigger bag fighting Turki with Turki fighting bums. But that bum you fighting, that Shakur Stevenson fighting Padley, you got a good bag. Tank Davis still your biggest bag. He still got the leverage. And he's your biggest bag with or without Turki. I think that's what people are having a hard time understanding. And what people are doing are saying, hey, man, but Tank could get more money fucking with Turki. Clearly, Tank and Al Haymon don't give a fuck about that. Yeah, they believe they gonna get this bag and they want as much money as possible, but they also want to have the leverage of putting the event on. They also want to have the leverage of making sure it's gonna be at the location that they want the location to be at. Yeah, those things are just as important too when you're running a business, bro. So I think it's fun to talk about. I think it's a good topic to bring up. However, I do believe that people are missing the mark. Well, Al is already working with Turki. True. How is he working with Turki? I'll explain it to you. The same way he worked with Bob Arum. The same way he works with any other promoter or any other entity in boxing. When you got the leverage, when your fighter has the leverage and it makes the most business sense, I'll send my fighter to you. I'll send you Edwin. I'll send you Cool Boy Steph. I'll send you Felix Diaz. I'll send you Rolly. I'll send you Rayo. I'll send you Pitbull. I'll send you Carlos Adames. But when the business of it makes sense for me and my business and my fighter, when I look at Tank and Shakur is fighting on undercards in Saudi Arabia, and Tank is headlining main events in America, breaking records, shit gonna run through us. When I look at Tank Davis and Keyshawn Davis and Tank Davis is headlining and breaking records and doing main events, and Keyshawn Davis just now had a hometown fight and he's building a name for himself, but he's never fought on pay-per-view. He's never done a live gate close to what Tank is doing right now. Shit gonna run through us. We don't need Turkey. When I look at David Benavidez and Callum Smith then already fought and lost to Canelo Alvarez, and outside of Canelo Alvarez, he's never been on pay-per-view, and David Benavidez's pay-per-view numbers just went from 50,000 against Caleb Plant to 150,000 against David Morrell, and he's selling out arenas here in America. We don't need Turkey. We don't want to be thrown on Turkey card. Callum Smith, you want the David Benavidez fight, it goes through us. It's a very simple concept. Al Haymon and Premier Boxing Champions is doing business with Turki Al-Sheikh, Top Rank, and whoever when it makes business sense for them. And when it doesn't make business sense for them, they choose not to. In the case of Tank Davis, since that's the main topic that we're talking about, there is no scenario, there's no instance where it makes sense for Al Haymon to send Tank Davis to Turkey. Because you giving up that bag, like you can get a big ass bag from Turkey, yeah. But you also gotta wonder whether or not he wants you to win the fight, like Carlos Adames and Hamza Shiraz. Cause if you go over there and you fight one of his guys, you see what he did to, hey, 2 more rounds, you only gotta get 2 more. You see Carlos Adames clearly fucking winning, but Hamza Shiraz is an ambassador to Turkey. And to a lot of people, Carlos Adames got robbed. Why would you give that away? Why would you risk that for some extra money when you making more money than everybody else anyway? You never give away your leverage in business. And right now, Tank Davis got all the leverage over all his contemporaries. Because Shakur can fight Williams and Pater. Get a good bag. Probably be on the undercard. Probably be on Crawford and Canelo undercard, though. Tank Davis fight Shakur, it's going to be Shakur's biggest bag. Tank Davis fight Williams and Pater, that's going to be Williams and Pater's biggest bag. And they'll be headlining the main event. And they'll be headlining the pay-per-view. He's the only one that gets you that. So why would he give that up by fucking with Turkey? Why would Al Haymon give that up by having him fuck with Turkey? It makes no sense. That is why. That is the difference. You don't treat all fighters the same. I leave y'all with this, right? It's like a football team. Emmitt Smith and the third string running back. Troy Aikman and the third string quarterback. Jimmy Johnson said this shit best, and it rings true till today. And this is in life, this is in business, this is as somebody that manages employees, bro. Treating everybody the same in business is some of the stupidest shit ever. You treat people based on what they bring to the table. And in the case of football, Troy Aikman, he don't get treated like the third string quarterback. The third string quarterback, nigga, if you late for the bus, if you late for the plane, we might leave your ass. If Troy Aikman is late, shit, nigga, we probably waiting. Probably waiting on Troy. Straight up. Probably waiting on Troy. Saquon Barkley, Super Bowl champion, Philadelphia Eagles. Saquon Barkley late for the plane. The plane probably waiting on his ass. The 6th cornerback on the depth chart that probably ain't going to play, let his ass be late. Plane probably taking off early on his ass. What's the analogy? PBC, Al Haymon, Tank Davis, Turkey a la sheep, right? If it's Carlos Adames, no main events, no pay-per-views, no live gates and shit, I might send him to your ass. If it's Rolly Ramiro, already been knocked out, fighting on undercards, I'll probably send him to your ass. If it's Cool Boy Steph, not a big name, don't really make no money off of him, not a lucrative fighter, I'm probably going to send his ass to Japan. If it's Edwin De Los Santos, not a main event fighter, not bringing in no money, not a real fan base, I'll send his ass to Shakur Stevenson. Rayo Valenzuela, I'll send his ass over there, undercard fighter, not generating no revenue for me, I'll send his ass. But I ain't sending you Tank Davis, though. All fighters are not created equal. All people don't get treated the same, homeboy. He brings shit to the table that them other ones don't bring. Give a fuck what you talking about. You think you might pay him? The ability for us to generate money off of him and the ability for him to generate money for himself is leverage that can't be bought. He don't have to count on you to overpay him to generate money. We not giving that up. I hope it makes sense to y'all, bro. And I'll finish the analogy off because I brought it up and I don't want to leave y'all incomplete. Same thing I was saying about me managing employees, right? If you're more productive, I got a longer leash with you. If you are more reliable, I got a longer leash than you. If somebody that done called in from work 5 times in 1 month, when they call in that next time telling me they sick, I probably require a doctor's note. Yeah, I make them give me a doctor's note. Show me that the shit is real. But if it's an employee that's always on time, always showing up to work, ain't never called in before, and they call me in, they say, KO, I'm sick. I won't be able to make it to work today. I just probably tell them, hey, man, feel better, bro. I'll catch you next time. Hope you feel better. Let me know if you need anything. I'm more inclined to believe them because of what they bring to the table. They ain't never late. They show up all the time. And they've been working for me for over a year now. Okay, yeah, bro, you sick, you not feeling good? This your first time, bro. I believe you. Feel better. But if your ass always got a flat tire, if something always happened with the kid, if you always got this going on, and then now you tell me you sick, I need a doctor's note, nigga. Everybody don't get treated the same, y'all. And so Al Haymon and Tank Davis and PBC and David Benavidez, they're not going to treat the handling of Tank Davis the same way they treat the handling of those other fighters that they choose to send over there to Turkey a la sheep. I hope I just illustrated that shit for you, and I hope it made sense. Y'all smash the like button. I'll see y'all soon. Peace. Gervonta, Tank Davis, let Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney know y'all ain't built like that, bro.